Do you plan to attend your next high school class reunion? There are 10 Duluthians who got together today for their reunion 75 years after graduating from a school that no longer exists.
Yeah, pretty cool. Northern News Now's Maggie Franzen was there as Duluth Central's class of 51 got together at Pickwick Restaurant with yearbooks and memories in tow.
75 years after walking the graduation stage, Duluth Central High School's class of 1951 came together again today for their 75th reunion. The reunion was a reminder that some friendships can stand the test of time. After years of organizing and participating in class get-togethers, 93-year-old Richard Gursky admits he was shocked and ecstatic by how many of his old classmates were able to pull up a chair on Wednesday.
This is a dramatic change because the last few years we were happy if we had 4, 5, or 6, and now we're expected like 10. Amazing.
Attendees reminisced about classes, sporting events, and teachers. The group grateful for these lifelong bonds forged long ago.
There were 12 of us that chummed around together, and they called us cheaper by the dozen. Right, and we all stayed friends. Even after graduation, we stayed as friends.
A special proclamation was read on behalf of Duluth Mayor Roger Reinert at the reunion.
To officially proclaim August 5th, 2026 as Central High School Class of 1951 Day.
These graduates didn't say goodbye without leaving behind advice for the next generation.
Just treasure your relationships. As you get older, you realize how important they are and how valuable they are in your life.
Be sure to attend, don't be absent, and follow the advice that your instructors give you.
Well, do your own thing. Don't let somebody else tell you how to run your life.
In Duluth, Maggie Franzen, Northern News Now.
Oh, what a great story. We're told there are several other 1951 grads who stayed in touch with the group that met today but just couldn't make it to the meal.